I humiliated my boyfriend in front of his bully. Now he won't even look at me. I never thought a stupid joke could destroy everything I had with the person I love the most. I, 24F, have been dating my boyfriend, 25M, for almost 3 years. He's sweet, loyal, funny. The kind of guy every girl says she wants but never appreciates until he's gone. But one day, one humiliating, thoughtless day, I made a joke that completely shattered his confidence. I thought I was being playful, but in front of the wrong people at the worst possible moment. Now, he won't even look at me. He barely speaks. And every time I try to fix things, I realize just how much damage I've caused. This is the story of how one cruel joke about something I should have never said cost me the man who used to adore me. When I first met my boyfriend, Alex, 25M, he was the quiet, slightly awkward guy in my college friend group. I, 24F, was always the loud one, confident, talkative, the one cracking jokes to make everyone laugh. Alex wasn't the kind of guy who stood out in a crowd. He was average height, slim build, and had that soft, kind look, the kind that instantly made you feel safe. He wasn't muscular or flashy like some of the other guys I dated before. But what drew me to him was his heart. He listened when I talked. He remembered tiny details about my day. He treated me with so much respect that, honestly, it felt strange at first. Before him, I had been in a pretty toxic relationship. My ex, Jason, was one of those typical gym-obsessed guys who love showing off and constantly made me feel like I wasn't enough. So when Alex came along, it felt refreshing, calm, stable, and genuine. We met in our final year of college. At first, we were just friends who studied together. Then we started hanging out more. I still remember the night we officially got together. We were sitting on the dorm roof, sharing snacks, and I accidentally called him boyfriend material. He blushed so hard that I just laughed, and that laugh turned into a kiss. From then on, everything felt right. My friends even said we were the perfect couple. We never fought. We had similar goals, and we made each other better. Or at least, that's what I thought. But even early in the relationship, there was one thing I noticed. Alex was a little insecure about his body, especially when it came to, well, size. He never said it directly, but sometimes when we were intimate, I could feel how self-conscious he was. I always reassured him. I told him he was perfect for me, that I didn't care about that stuff. And I meant it. He wasn't bad in bed. Far from it. He was gentle, patient, and focused on me. But I think years of being bullied in high school had already damaged his confidence. He once told me that one of his old classmates, a guy named Eric, used to make fun of him in the locker room. You know, those stupid teenage boy jokes about size that stick with you forever. I remember holding his hand and telling him, "You're not that scared little kid anymore. You're amazing, Alex." And for the longest time, he really seemed to believe it. Until that one day, the day I ruined everything. It all started at a friend's reunion party. One of those casual get-togethers where everyone from college meets up, drinks too much, and pretends their lives are more exciting than they really are. I, 24F, hadn't seen most of my old classmates in a while, and Alex, 25M, wasn't really excited to go. He's never liked big social gatherings, but since it was one of my best friends hosting, he agreed to come with me. At first, the evening was great. Everyone was laughing, catching up, and Alex was doing his best to socialize. I could tell he was a little uncomfortable, but he was trying for me. We were standing in a small group when someone called out, "Hey, look who showed up, Eric." My stomach dropped when I saw Alex stiffen. It was that Eric, the same guy who used to bully him in high school. The same guy who made those cruel jokes that haunted him for years. Eric swaggered over like he owned the place. All loud confidence and fake charm. He looked at Alex, smirked, and said, "Man, it's been forever. You still dating that hot girl from your dorm?" Alex just gave a small nod, and I smiled politely, trying to diffuse the tension. But Eric wouldn't stop. He kept making little digs at Alex, harmless to anyone else, but I could see how each one hit him. "Still quiet as ever, huh? You always were the shy one." He even made a joke about how Alex never liked changing in the locker room. Everyone laughed. I could see the embarrassment written all over Alex's face. His jaw clenched, his shoulders tensed, and I hated seeing him like that. So, trying to be the funny, One, and lighten the mood. I made a mistake I'll never forget. I laughed and said, "Oh, come on, Eric, don't tease him. He's confident enough now. I mean, he's doing just fine in that department." It was meant to defend him, but Eric smirked, leaned back, and said, "Oh yeah? I'll believe it when I see it." Everyone chuckled. I should have stopped there. I should have just ignored it. But something in me wanted to prove him wrong, to protect Alex, to embarrass Eric back. So I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Trust me, he's doing better than you ever could. At least I don't have to fake it with him." The laughter that followed was like a slap in the face, but not to Eric. To Alex. I realized it too late. Eric laughed, but Alex's expression changed instantly. He didn't smile, didn't laugh. His face just fell. I saw pain in his eyes, that raw, exposed kind of hurt that words can't undo. The rest of the night was a blur. He barely spoke to me. We left early, the car ride silent except for the sound of his breathing. I kept trying to talk, to apologize, but he just stared out the window. When we got home, he finally said, quietly, "You didn't have to say that." I tried to explain that I was defending him, that I didn't mean to humiliate him, but he just shook his head. "You don't get it," he said. "You made me a joke." In front of him. That night, he slept on the couch. The next day, he barely looked at me. The day after, the same thing. He stopped touching me, stopped joking around, stopped being the man I fell in love with. Weeks went by, and he built a wall so high I couldn't climb it. Every time I tried to talk about it, he'd say, "I'm fine," or "Let's not talk about that." But I could feel it. I'd killed something in him. The intimacy disappeared. I'd reach for his hand, and he'd pull away. We stopped being us. I tried to act normal, cooked his favorite meals, wore his favorite perfume, tried to remind him how much I loved him, but nothing worked. Finally, one night, after trying to initiate intimacy and him quietly turning me down again, I snapped. I said something I regret more than anything. "God, can you stop sulking already? You should be grateful I'm still with you after all this." Most girls would have left by now. He froze. His eyes filled with tears, not anger, just heartbreak. He didn't yell, didn't curse, didn't even argue. He just quietly said, "You're right. You should leave." And that was it. He packed a small bag and went to stay with his friend. It's been 3 weeks since that night. He hasn't called, and I can't stop thinking about how one moment, one stupid attempt to be funny, destroyed the only person who ever truly loved me. The days after he left were brutal. I kept replaying the moment over and over in my head. The way his eyes went cold when I said he should be grateful. The way he didn't argue, didn't beg me to stay. He just walked away silently. I thought I was in control of the situation. I told myself he'd calm down, that he'd realize I didn't mean it that way. But the truth hit me hard. I had broken the trust we'd built over years, and there's no quick fix for something like that. Everywhere I went, I saw reminders of him. His favorite coffee shop, the park we used to jog together. Even my apartment felt empty, as if the walls themselves missed him. I tried to distract myself with work, friends, even binge-watching shows. Nothing worked. When I finally tried to reach out, all I got was a short, cold message. "Can we not talk about this right now? I need space." Space. That word cut deeper than any argument could have. It wasn't just a request. It was a boundary one I had trampled over. I had spent years laughing with him, joking with him, teasing him in ways I thought were affectionate. And in a single instant, I had crossed a line I didn't fully understand existed until it was too late. I started talking to a friend about it. I tried to explain my side, that I didn't mean to humiliate him, that it was just a joke in front of friends, that I thought he'd laughed it off before. But even as I said it, I realized it sounded selfish. It wasn't about him anymore. It was about me defending my actions. I began to understand what people online were saying, that it wasn't the joke itself, but the context and the betrayal of trust. He had been vulnerable with me his entire life, and I weaponized that vulnerability even if I thought I was being playful. The guilt ate at me day and night. I would wake up in the middle of the night, heart racing, imagining what he was feeling. Hurt, betrayed, ashamed, and I knew there was no way to make him feel safe again, not after what I had done. I even saw him once at the grocery store. He was standing in the aisle, looking perfectly fine, smiling faintly at the cashier, and I felt something I didn't expect. Anger. Not at him, but at myself. How could I have let someone I loved so deeply slip away because of one careless, thoughtless moment? I wanted to call him, to explain, to beg for forgiveness. But I didn't, because I realized it wouldn't change anything. The damage was done. He had chosen to step away, and I had to respect that. Even now, weeks later, the silence between us is deafening. Every message I don't receive, every call that never comes, reminds me that my words have consequences. That laughter at someone's expense, even a partner's, can leave scars deeper than I could have imagined. I've learned something painful. Love isn't just about shared jokes or playful teasing. It's about understanding boundaries, recognizing vulnerabilities, and protecting the people you care about, even when it's uncomfortable. And right now, I'm left with nothing but the echo of my mistake and the hope that someday I'll be someone who truly understands what it means to love without hurting the one you love most. Weeks turned into months, and the emptiness in my apartment remained. The routines we shared, morning coffees, evening walks, late-night conversations, all of it vanished like smoke. I kept thinking about how quickly someone who was once the center of your world could become a stranger. I started reflecting deeply on what happened. At first, all I felt was regret, guilt, and self-pity. But slowly, clarity began to creep in. I realized that my sense of humor, the teasing I thought was harmless, had blindsided me. While I considered playful, he considered a betrayal. And no amount of "but it was a joke" could erase that. I began to understand something fundamental. Love isn't just about shared laughter or affection. It's about respect, emotional safety, and boundaries. I had assumed that because we joked privately about sensitive topics, I had carte blanche to do in public. I was wrong. That assumption had cost me someone who truly cared for me. Seeing him move on, living his life with someone else, was painful. But it also made me realize that he deserved someone who could meet him where he was emotionally, someone who could navigate vulnerabilities with care instead of using them as fodder for jokes. And I realized I had to become that kind of person, not just for a partner, but for myself. I started to work on myself. Therapy helped me see the blind spots I carried in relationships. I learned the difference between humor and cruelty, teasing and humiliation, affection and control. I began to understand the subtle ways I invalidated his feelings, even unintentionally, and how deeply they could wound someone. Eventually, I accepted that some mistakes have consequences that can't be undone. I couldn't turn back time and unmake that joke. I couldn't erase the embarrassment, the hurt, or the trust one had broken. But I could take responsibility, learn from it, and strive to be better in the future. I also learned about emotional resilience, not just his but mine. Relationships aren't just about laughter or attraction. They're about empathy, communication, and emotional safety. I realized that building someone up doesn't just mean praising them in private. It means respecting their vulnerabilities publicly, protecting their dignity, and knowing when humor crosses the line. Life moved on. I met new people, rebuilt my routines, and slowly the aches softened. The memories remained, but they became lessons instead of wounds. And though I'll always feel a pang of regret, I carry that experience as a guide. To love better, to understand more deeply, and to never underestimate the power of words, even in jest. Looking back now, I see that the heartbreak, the distance, and the silence were harsh teachers. But they taught me something invaluable. Love without care can hurt as much as it heals. And sometimes, the most important person to understand is yourself. Even though the chapter with him is closed, I know I've grown. And I hope that anyone listening, anyone reading, can take this as a reminder. Words have weight, humor has limits, and the people we care about deserve our protection as much as our affection. All right, guys, that's the end of this story. I hope you found it as intense and eye-opening as I did. Remember, relationships aren't just about jokes or laughter. They're about respect and understanding each other's boundaries. If you like this story, make sure to subscribe to Reddit Cheating Stories for more real-life, dramatic stories like this. I'll see you in the next one, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.